What's going on, man? It's your big brother K-RINO, and y'all are tuned in again to K-RINO Radio, man. The visual version, the digital version, man. And we are honored to have another legend with us today, man. This brother here, man. If you, it's a lot of hustlers in the game, especially from the city of Houston, man. But if you look up hustler in a dictionary, his picture would be right there with a lot of the other greats that have come out of this city, man. This brother is an extraordinarily skilled rapper. He is an entrepreneur. He is a freestyle specialist, and he is a self-made independent artist that has been in the game for decades, man. Y'all know him from Dope House Records. My brother, Rasheed. What's going on, family?
Man, honored to be here, man. It's a pleasure to be in the presence of the one and only K-RINO, because you look, you're on the top of my list of rappers, and I ain't talking, and I ain't saying it just because we on this, but not in Houston, but in the planet. I'll put you on anybody. But we ain't here to talk about that. But I just want to let you know you got that respect for me, brother.
I appreciate you, bro. First of all, like I say, you are one of the most underrated, because I have seen you in circles just tearing the mic to shreds, literally, just straight up. You don't, and it doesn't matter if it's with the pen, or it doesn't matter if it's coming straight off the dome. This brother that y'all are looking at right now, this is a real rapper right here. Y'all looking, this ain't nothing put together and processed, and this is a real artist right here, man. So what's been going on with you, Sheed? How you been?
Man, Reno, like I was saying earlier, man, I'm just, glad to be alive, still breathing. This actually, my birthday month. I wasn't really going, say too much about it, like, because, every year, everybody, oh, birthday, happy birthday. After a while, we get a little monotonous. Then we getting older. So we like, but at the end of the day, getting older is a gift. It's a blessing. So, we have to accept that. But it's been a lot going on, Reno, and I'm just appreciating, man, life right now, bro. I'm out here in Oklahoma right now, so
Tell people, because we know originally, some people may not know, originally you from the East Coast. What brought you? How'd you end up making the trip to Houston? What brought you down to the H? We so glad, whatever brought you, we glad it brought you, but we want to know the backstory.
Well, I'll start by saying a person that you'll know, I can't, it's the story behind it, but the main factor behind it was my father, Brother Abdul Latif, which I think you knew my dad, R.I.P., you know what I'm saying? And so when I was 12, he was already out here, he started in the Jumant and, stuff like that. So I came like when I was really, really young, like when I was 12 or something like that. And he was really hard on me with the dean. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was on my 5 times a day prayers, don't look at no women, no company, and so, so I dealt with that for about 2 years. And then finally I said, man, I want to go back to Philly, Pops. So I went back to Philly from 15 to about 16. And so those years that from 15 to 16, close to 17 were anything that I talk about, that I rap about, I've done it at that age. So not to brag, but that's why I write about certain things. But I'm just saying that to say, one day I was on the corner during that period of my life, and I said, man, I need to get the fuck out of here. So my grandmother called my dad again, and my dad said, well, you want to come back? Come on back down. But this time he was more lenient on me as far as the dean and stuff, because at the time he needed somebody. Yeah, if you understand what I'm saying, you know what I mean? Because his wife had left. So that's what brought me down the second time, and I've been Texas ever since.
Wow.
Always represent Philly, but you know what it is.
Yeah, no question. You've been down here so long, but like say, greatness travels, and it crosses state lines and city lines and all that good stuff, bro. So
yes, sir.
When did you fall in love? Well, I don't want to say fall in love with hip hop. We around the same age, so I'm sure we probably jumped on it around the same time. But what was the Houston scene like for you when you first got down here? How was that to you compared to where you had come from?
Okay, cool. Okay, so now being from the East Coast, everything down south was funny to me, my G. I'm not even gonna sit here and say when Homer said, "What's up, my dog? What's up, dog?" I was like,
You're gonna let it unfreeze real quick.
from the East Coast artists, okay, coast and being an artist and coming down south, I always felt.
Start over again, Rasheed, because you freezing up a little bit. Just start from that point you was getting ready to start from. All right, go ahead.
Okay, yeah, being the East Coast and coming down to the South, everything was funny to me. You know, when I first heard somebody say, "What's up, dog?" I was like, "What did he say?" You know what I mean? So I had to learn to adapt and respect the Houston scene. But as a artist, I felt like I was supreme. Like, you know, so you know, I came up in the hood in South Park, mostly South Park, because me and my dad had a stand. I knew Pat, I knew Hawk, I knew all of the rappers from the South. I had a chance to meet James and stuff like that, but I've always just had my own lane. So I've seen all the greats come up. I've been around them. Screw, you know what I'm saying? R.I.P. Screw, you know, I've been around Screw, you know, didn't really get to work with him too much, but you know, I was so much in my own zone that I really didn't, you know, get to, you know, work with the solid Houston artists at the time. But I watched everything blow, man, from Big Mello to my boy Mafio. I went to school with Mafio, Big Pappy, R.I.P. Big Pappy. You know what I'm saying? You know, I lived in South Park in the dead end. You know, I was around the corner from Kiki when he was in Selinsky, you know, but I was just in my own zone, you know, doing me, you know what I'm saying? Doing me, you know, but you know, the scene was good though. You know, when I first start, you know, watching it come up, it was good. And you know, I can go back than that, but right there at the Houston era, you know, of the Pat and all that, I was in the middle of it. But I was just a rapper, if you understand.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. No doubt, no doubt. So a lot of people know you from your days with Dope House and linking up with SPM. How'd you come in contact with Dope House and SPM and get involved in that whole organization like that?
Well, okay. Well, I won't get into the story, but I started my first professional project with Lil Troy, Shortstop Records. Right. I ain't gonna skip that. Troy already be mad at me. He don't answer no more, nothing. Yeah. I look. It's only a few people number that we know by heart. I know you probably got a better memory than me, but you know it's a certain amount of people number that you know by heart, and Troy is one of them. Right. So every now and then I text him, "What's up, Troy?" He'll answer me back. He mad at me. So I started with Lil Troy, but I hope he see this too. I love you, my nigga. But the SPM situation. So I have a friend, you might know him. He goes by the name of Hook, Adrian Savoy. You know Hook?
Yeah, I know.
Okay. Him. So Hook was, when I got out of jail, so Hook was coming around, you know, we was hanging out, but when he got South Park Mexican cassette tape, he was coming around. He'd ride around every day and say, "Hey, you heard of South Park Mexican?" And I'd be like, "Nah, I've never heard it, bro." And so by the third time, "Hey, you never heard of South Park Mexican?" I said, "No, nigga, I ain't heard of South Park Mexican, man. Get me out of here. Leave me alone. Leave me alone with that shit." And so one day he picked me up and he just took me to SPM's trailer home in Hillwood. When he took me to SPM trailer home in Hillwood, SPM freestyle. SPM raps off of his notebook for hours, and I freestyled for every rap that he, you know, we went for hours. And in the middle of the When Devil Strikes CD, he said a quote, which I'm not offended by it, but it's okay. He say, "Yeah, when I first heard Rasheed rap, I thought I saw the devil." I was like, damn, I don't know if to take that good or bad. But that's how I met him, Reno, because of my homeboy Adrian Hook.
Wow.
Now I feel as if I would have met him under any other circumstances, I don't think that we would have the relationship that we have. But because Hook, who was my good friend, took me to him, we bonded.
Yeah, and that happens sometimes when you got a mutual connection, when you got somebody that's a mutual friend of both of them. Sometimes both people who don't know each other, they'll base their opinion on the person they do know. So if he good with my boy, then he must be all right. You know, This guy, he not gonna bring nobody out of pocket to my house. So
Right.
that's probably it. So you looking at Hook as, okay, that's my guy, I trust him. And SPM looking at, okay, Hook my guy, I trust him. So yeah,
Right.
that's
Right.
a great thing.
Yeah, so that's how that happened. And he was only maybe 6 months into starting Dope House. So that's why a lot of people say, oh, I was there from the beginning. But, you know, he had a couple of soldiers and, you know, stuff like that before he actually, you know, started it beginning. But when, you know, but I think I was 6 months in when he started the label. So.
Right, no doubt. So your first album dropped in what year? Was that 94 when your first album dropped?
My first EP dropped with Little Troy in 1994 called Living in the Ghetto.
Right.
Yeah, and that's with Shortstop. Now, my first album with Dope House, Let the Games Begin, dropped between 99 and 2000.
Right, okay.
And that was the first album.
Those old classic, those pen and pixel covers, man, you know, back in the day that everybody had, and we all have.
Since we on the K-RINO show, I'm going to tell you what happened.
Yeah.
Here's what happened. We were sitting in SPM office, Carlos' office, you know, chiefing a little bit, and he just stood up. He said, Rasheed. I said, what? He said, I got the name of your album. I said, what is it? He said, we're going to call it Let the Games Begin, and we're going to have you standing up against a big gladiator, giant motherfucker and all that. And so I said, okay. And so that's how that happened, man. It wasn't my idea. And so the thing about that is, had I been the one to do it, it would have been basic. But I thank him that he came up with something that was different out the box. You know what I'm saying? You know, so you know. But
were you ever signed? Were you ever signed with Dope House, or were you just kind of just, I'm a soldier, just riding with him, doing my thing with him?
Now or back then?
Back then.
Back then, we all signed contracts.
Yeah.
But be honest with you, you know, we was always flexible to do what we wanted to do. Yeah. But out of respect, we, you know, kept it 100. But, you know, as time went on, you know, we did different things, but always kept it 100 with the Dope House. No, but at one point, we all signed contracts. Oh, I don't want to speak for everybody, my bad. At one point, I signed contracts, a couple, you know. For the Let the Games Begin album, we did a deal with Warner Music Capital, and I dropped the album called 21st Century, which is my brand. It's been my brand, and I've always promoted my brand, even being signed, you know, under them and stuff. And so, yeah, I signed with them a few times, but you know how it is, man. Independent labels, with the major labels, you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't do this, you can't do that. We're gonna sue you. Da, 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 da. You can't, if you fart, you gotta get paid. Da, da, da. You know, Dope House, you know, we making our money, doing our thing. So even though we were signed, you know, we were still able to, you know, be flexible.
No doubt. So fast forward into once you started really just getting out and doing it on your own, separate from Dope House, man. I just watch your hustle, man. You know, even if me and you don't talk to each other, we might not talk to each other, see each other for months, but due to social media, I always see you on that road, man. And you always been a brother that's just highly energetic and just don't stop. You don't sit still for nothing, man. Like, what is your motivation with the independent grind now? And how has the independent, just you being you, how has that been working out for you? And what was your formula to even putting that together in the first place?
Okay, let me put this in a nutshell. So when I was locked up a while ago, they had a saying for the addicts to say insanity is doing the same thing over and over and and thinking you're gonna get different results. So, you know, far as the music and the business go, for one, I love the music, and you know, we all got to learn to do new things. But I love what I do, Reno. I love the music for one. I love people. I love traveling. I love creating. So it's really like, it's really no push or no drive behind it because I love everything that I do. Now, at times I do get discouraged, not discouraged, but I think about, okay, well, I could have done this better, or I could do this like this, I could do this like that. So yeah, my birthday, I'll be 48. I'm still rapping, I'm still doing it. Hey man, I'm not about to go, I'll do it, but I'm not about to go work at Quaker Oats and Kellogg's. You understand what I'm saying? So if I can still look, listen, I was telling you earlier, the little white kids, I made it a joke, but before I left the spot I was at, it's called Shawnee. I'm in Oklahoma City right now. I'm in Shawnee, New Mexico. I'm sorry, Shawnee, Oklahoma, at a flea market. The little kids, I try to, speak positive, even though, they know we, smoke a little bit and party and stuff, but, I try to be a positive role model. They came in and they hugged me before I left, and I made a joke. I said, "Oh, they tried Michael Jackson me." You know what I'm saying? Being funny, but you don't understand how that make me feel for having little white kids come hug you because you do what you do.
Right.
So some people don't have too much of a following. Some people still building a following. All I can say is, just like you, we can thank God for the work that we done. Is still helping us out. The people hear the song, they say, "Hey, I heard that song. I played that song every day." Right. I'm in the middle of nowhere, K-RINO. You understand what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
But see, we in a different level because of all the work that we done. So I can't really speak for somebody that's just getting in it. But all I can tell somebody that's just getting in it is, well, if they don't got the drive, they don't got the drive. But don't stop. Even if you go and sell chocolates and candy on the side, if you love the music and you love what you're doing, don't stop, bro. Right. Don't let nobody say you too old. Don't let nobody say your raps suck. Don't let nobody say your raps is too they're not enough auto-tune in it. No, right. Keep on going, keep on doing it. And I'm not trying to tell you because I know you know, but that's
no.
This is just my, where I'm at. My mind is at with it. I'm be 48 next month. I'm crunk, about to drop my new project, Dope House OG, but I don't want to get into all that right now. But yeah, so that's my drive,
You know what? But everything you just said, I 1,000,000% agree with, because you said that the work that you did long time ago, what that did, it laid a foundation for you to be able to still eat today. And I equate that to, like, just think about like some of the mainstream artists that we've known from the past that had one hit, and people laugh at them and call them a one-hit wonder. He's just a one-hit wonder. But if you look at some of those artists, that one hit that they dropped 25, 30 years ago is still feeding them today because they still getting booked to perform that one hit. So the grind that you put in, that all of us put in 25, 30 years ago, and the fan base that was established from that, majority of those people, they haven't went nowhere.
It's going to be a while. It's going to be a while.
See Rasheed, and you going to them. That's the beauty of it. See, the spot you named was just a remote area somewhere that I never heard of till you said it, but you going to these places. So when those youngsters walk up and they hug, that's an appreciation, because they don't get to see a Rasheed every day, or they may have not even known you was in town. See, right. So that, man, that's the grind, man, your energy. But I said early on that you are one of the most underrated in the city and in the game. What do you view yourself as being underrated sometime when people start talking about, because it's no way that you can't stand with nobody. You can stand with anybody. Do you view yourself as being like, hey man, these boys have been sleeping on me for a long time?
No, I feel like I'm more misunderstood. See, like far as rapping goes, that's what we do. We'll go do an album, I'll freestyle, I'll go against the best. I can do it. But when it comes to the industry, there's a certain, how can I say this? When it comes to the industry, there's a certain, I want to say, hold on, just give me a second. I'm gonna say the right word. A certain steps. Okay. I'm not from Houston. Okay, let's just say that. I'm not from Houston. I wasn't born here. So number one, even though I've been here many years and I got a lot of love, I still feel as though I'm an outsider. Number two, and I don't like to use the word, I've cut down on it on my raps, but we just gonna be real. I'm a nigga to my blood. But people see me running around rapping in Spanish, they don't know what to think. You know, and it's kind of political, it's kind of personal, because we know what's going on in the world. We understand what's going on. You know, me, I'm a diverse fella. I've never had a racist bone, no kind of bone in my body. But when people look at me, they might say, damn, is he trying to be a Mexican? Well, he good, but I don't, you know, what he trying to do? And then the Hispanic people might like, well, damn, he repping with the Mexicans, but, you know, he's a Negro. So there's a line of separation where people don't understand. So I could be the greatest rapper in the world, but when that gap is not bridged, people won't accept it all the way. And I have learned to accept that people won't accept it. And I have learned to accept the position that I'm in and who I'm in. You know what I mean? Because I could be underrated all day, but them fucking little, and I ain't trying to sound like a weirdo, but them hugs that I got for them kids, that supersedes anything, man. Being the underrated, whatever, I'm like, damn, like I'm nobody, bro. You understand what I'm saying? But I was enough of a person to give some inspiration to some little white kids. Not to mention color or nothing, but you know, we black. We, you know.
Let me say this. The love that people have, or the levels that people put artists on, whether it be here, it's all relative. See, it's like there are artists who would rather see and meet Rasheed than they would some big time mainstream artists, because you've done,
right.
because what your music has done for them. So in that regard, okay, you say, well, you know what? Yeah, I may be underrated to what they call the masses of the people, but trust and believe. I was listening, I was absorbing everything you said. It's an honor and a motivational point that the little people, the people in these small towns, the people that may send you an email or something like that, they view you as being here. So your purpose is etched in stone, bro. Now, how have you been able to, like, because everything I'm getting out of your energy right now speaks to me, telling me about just your love and passion you have for the art form. Because you mentioned the separation between basically the art and the industry side of it. How have you been able to, as an artist, separate that from the two? Because I see a lot of guys out here, a lot of cats, they get discouraged about the art form because they let themselves get poisoned by the industry. How have you been able to avoid that and just be focused on love first, love first?
Well, you know, I just stay moving, Reno. You know, I stay moving, man. You know, I have a you know, when I'm pushing the record, I have a level factor, right? And I tell all my guys, all my street team, I say, okay, look, we're going to 5 clubs in one night, and we get, it's a level factor. When you go in the club and talk to the DJ, he's gonna do 1 or 3 things. He's gonna either ignore you and say fuck you. He's either gonna take the record and say, okay, man, I'll listen to it, or he gonna say, hey, man, yeah, man. So that's how I, you know, deal with people all the time. And if the energy is negative, bro, we gotta go. You understand what I'm saying? And far as the mainstream thing, we all have peers, and we love our peers, brothers and sisters that's doing it. It might be a show going on over there. There might be 10,000 people, and you might want to be on that show. No, ain't no might. I want to be on that show. But you know what? I can't look at what they doing over there. I can't look at that. I gotta go do my show with my 500 people over there that love me.
Come on.
Homeboy got 1 million views on this video. I don't know what he did. It's wonderful. That's okay. You understand what I'm saying? Embrace it. Show love to it. But if you get too busy, and I'm not talking to the people, you can't get busy looking at all the other shit around you. Even if we didn't have social media, what we just did in need, that wasn't no social media. Them motherfuckers living like pilgrims out there. We aliens to them. Take the social media out of it. Get on your feet. Take them feet. Go hit them streets. The real life. And that's how I separated Reno. I stay in touch in the streets with the people. You know what I'm saying? And don't get me wrong, Reno. Don't think that I don't want to get a good hit record that might be possibly played on the radio or write one or whatever. I still have those aspirations. I'm sure we still have those aspirations.
Absolutely.
But we don't give a about it.
That's right.
We don't care about it. You know why? Right. Because we out here grinding. We reaching the people. We doing stuff. That's how I do it, man. I pay my bills. I like to pay my bills. I like to work. I just had a baby daughter. So that's even more motivation, you know. So that's how I separated Reno, is by keeping my feet planted to the ground. And by keeping my feet planted to the ground, I go press up the merchandise. I press up the shirts, press up the, whatever. Oh, don't nobody listen to CDs no more. Okay, tell that to all the 60, 70 people in the valley by Mexico that bought CDs for me for $15 a pop.
Come on,
you
man.
Sit over there and cry about the CDs don't sell no more. You feel me? So I'm just trying to say that don't look at the stuff that's going on around you. Just put in the work and it'll pay off.
Absolutely. Beautiful teaching, man. That's beautiful teaching. If anybody, man, if y'all are new artists, older artists, anything in between, if y'all are not grasping the knowledge that's coming from this brother right now, we got the great Rasheed on here with us, man. And that's the key with the creation of social media. I think it made a lot of artists lazy. A lot of artists from just even the new era and back in the days, because it's like, I can just sit at home and do this, but it's still a handful of guys. I think about you, I think about Blank, I think about Showtime, guys who still weekly get out on that road and just get out and get your bread like that, man. So, it takes a specially built individual, because I couldn't do it. I couldn't get out there every week. I couldn't do it, So
I understand.
You got to have that energy, and I always applauded you for that and respected that, because a lot of times you don't just be going, I might go to Austin, I might go to, you be going way, you be taking it deep, bro. You be taking it deep.
Well, I don't want to stop you there, but I do travel all over America. But you got me, bro. You done been to where was it? Switzerland?
Yeah, we talking overseas, but I'm talking about in the States where you behind the wheel.
Yes, sir.
Because look, yes, Rasheed, check it out, Sheed. I got a car rule that anything that take over 4 hours to get to in a car, I got to fly. I can't be in a vehicle for long periods of time. I'll go crazy. So when y'all driving the freaking Amarillo, so even Oklahoma, and I can't do it. I can't do it.
Right. Yeah, a lot of times, I ain't gonna lie, right now I have no car. I'm riding with everybody else. You know what I'm saying? My car broke down, right? So I ride with the homies. But when I'm driving, like when it's me, I be by myself a lot of times too, Reno. I'll be by myself. It's not, everybody likes company. But, as men, we born alone, we're gonna die alone, But I be by myself sometimes, man. And that's what I try to tell these guys. Like, I'm not saying be brave or be stupid and just, go anywhere and do this and that and the other. But, if you ain't feeling the energy that you expect that you're supposed to get in your city, it's okay. Go somewhere else. They're going to love you because your city always going to be there, bro. And that's another thing about the underrated thing. I'm Philly. So at one point in my life, I had a grandmother on two sides of the train tracks. You understand what I'm saying? So if you got two grandmothers on two sides of the train tracks, that means you got what? Aunts, uncles, cousins, da-da-da-da-da. So being the native from the East Coast and moving, into Houston, it's not, I don't really have no family out here except the family that I started, which thank God, love for them. You're a part of my family. We've been friends over 20 years. But you understand what I'm saying? When you got 30 cousins that's just going to play your music just because, man, that's my cousin, so-and-so, boom. So being here is like starting all, kind of like all over, like, you know what I mean? Even though I've been here for so long or whatever, but it's just a difference when you're somewhere where you're born and your family is there, so.
Absolutely. Beautiful, man. Well, let everybody know any new projects you got coming out, what you got going on, how they can reach you. Give us all that. Give us all that right now.
Okay, I'm gonna give it to you real quick. So right now I'm in Oklahoma. I'm about to do a show with Bone Thugs and Harmony. My artist BG3. I have a label, 21st Century Dynasty. Y'all please go follow my brand on Instagram, Rasheed 21st Century. We're about to open up with these guys. But the newest project is called Dope House OG. DHOG, which is not just Dope House OG. DHOG is the acronym for Definitely Houston's Original Grinder, Die Hard Original Go Getter. You know, it's a bunch of different acronyms. You know what I mean? And so that's coming soon. I'm dropping that. I've been working on my newest project called Rasheed Buying Weed, which is really just a song, but you know, I know everybody's not into the cannabis industry, and you know, we doing songs. We doing programs on cannabis awareness, but at this moment, I am working on my own strand of you know, of cannabis, and that's something else, you know, outside the music. But as far as the music, 21st Century, I got to shout out everybody dropping the projects. Big Cree, Tom. Right now with my homeboy OD from the Wolfpack, I'm gonna plug him real quick.
Man, it's okay, Reno. Much love, man. San Antonio.
Salute, family.
Yeah, that's my boy OD from the Wolfpack, and he hang out with the Wolfpack also from Houston. But my whole clique, Paperboy G, Tom, BG3, Big Cree, man, I got a whole team, 21st Century Dynasty, and all those young guys are working. They're working hard, passionately. My boy Keeks, he's working hard, and basically, if you just Google the names and all that, man, you can, you know, people can go and see what we got going on. But other than that, I'm just in these streets, man. And as an independent, you know, we can only hit so much at a time. Yeah. But that's a start. You reaching out to telling me, and now I'm telling people about that help, man. So I appreciate you here putting me on your show, bro.
Bro, I appreciate you. It's an honor, man. And anytime you need me, do not hesitate, my brother. And you keep doing what you're doing, because you inspire me. You know, I see you doing what you do. I look sometimes like, man, I got to get moving, you know what I'm saying, and get back out there. Even through COVID, you know, of course, we got to be careful how we navigate now. And, you know, we will, because we don't want to get reckless. But it's just a great thing, because I know somebody like yourself has even found a way to still navigate despite that. So, bro, I just respect everything you do. I always have. I respect your grind, and I definitely respect your artistry, bro. So I appreciate you coming on, man. And anytime you want to come on, promote something you got going on, feel free. Do not hesitate.
Well, let's get a new one in, man. Since I got you on thing, man. All the fans that's listening, I'm telling K-RINO right now, let's get a new one in.
Hey, hit me up. Send a beat to my email. I come to the studio. I come where you at. We gonna make it happen, family. It's all love.
Appreciate you, Reno.
Appreciate you. Y'all be safe, brother.
One.
All right.